All right.
All right. So I'm here with Maggie again, Glowing Goddess, and we are doing self-care tips. So what are we doing tonight?
So today we're going to talk about mists and toners. So a lot of people ask me, like, they're like, why do we do that? Like, nobody really understands why we're doing that. So we're going to talk a little bit about like what it does. We're also going to talk a little bit about like how you can make your own at home. And I'll start out by telling you a little bit about my mists. So these are my Glowing Goddess mists. I use organic rose petals and I make steam distill it to make hydrosol. So this is organic rose hydrosol. And I always put gems and crystals in there. This one has some blue sandstone, some amethyst, some fluorite, some rose quartz, lots of love in this bottle right here. And I just love the sound of like the little crystals in there. And even just that sound kind of shifts the energy like a little bit, right? So if you're like having a hard time or like caught up in a thought that won't go away, this is an incredible grounding practice to pull you out of the, up here and bring you into here, and especially into here, into your heart. I missed all day long. Like it's just like something I do. I do it before I get in my car and drive. And I'm like, okay, I got this, I do it. My mom was laughing because while I was having my baby, I was like grabbing my mist, like spraying myself constantly throughout labor. Like it's just an incredible, loving, grounding practice. So I want to share with you guys just like why we're doing it. So as far as toners go, toners are to prepare your skin for moisturizing. So you know how like before we did our oil cleanse or after we did our oil cleanse and before we put our oil on, we misted. So you can mist before and after. It's going to help the oil absorb better into your skin. You can even use water to do this. But the thing about the rose hydrosol that I love is it's like it's kind of like washing your face of what you just previously did. So any residue or anything that's left, it's gonna clear that. And then it's also extremely hydrating. It's not harsh. So there's so many toners out there that have like these crazy alcohol and fragrances, and these things destroy our acid mantle, which is that top layer of skin. It's the most important layer of skin. And when it comes to these toners, what I like to think of is I'm giving my skin a drink. I'm taking a sip of water, right? Like, let's just mist real quick. If you have a mist, close your eyes, mist yourself, like feel that feels like a sip of water. So I love to look at it in that way. Again, hydrating. Also, when it comes to toners, a lot of the time they will tighten your skin, close your pores, do things, minimize your pores, things like that. I wouldn't use anything harsh. I use hydrosols. I also will, with someone with acne, I'll add in a little bit of witch hazel. Apple cider vinegar is a really good one, but you really have to dilute these things because they are really powerful. And I think, we're so used to like going so hard with stuff and like doing so much, and just like, yeah, we just need to like pull it back and be really gentle, because our skin is like, it's fragile. It's like very sensitive. It's something you don't want to be putting multiple layers of chemicals on. I mean, it's simple. Just think simple, and yeah, it will do loads of good. So I like to use just the rose hydrosol. This again is really good for anyone with dry skin, anyone with maturing skin. This will be the way to go. And again, if you have more oily skin, you might want to add a touch of something else. So I recommend witch hazel, but the kind without alcohol, I'll do a little post on my page of the kind that I use. I can't remember the name right now, but Yeah, if you have some, grab it. Awesome. It's super important. You do not want alcohol on your skin, especially if you're someone who has acne or already is having inflammation. This is just going to heighten all that. Um, so, yes. I also told everyone to bring a little tea because your tea can actually be your mist or your toner. Okay. So I do this all the time. The reason that I like to think of this as like a sip of water. Now, when you're using tea, it's like giving your skin a sip of tea. So now all of a sudden you have all these like plant, you know, oils and things. Um, so I'm just pouring some in mine. I'm putting my tea right in there. I even put milk in my tea. Milk is wonderful. These will last only about 2 weeks. Okay, so that's a huge thing. Just put it in your fridge. It does expire. I like to look at expiration dates as like, this means it's like extremely healthy. This is something I want to use on my skin. Um, Everything should have expiration dates, you guys. If it lasts 5 years, throw it away. That's bad.
Well, I was wondering about that because of, like if you had milk in your tea, could it still be a mist? So I'm glad that you mentioned, yes, that's fine.
Yeah. I like to put I put a little oat milk in there too. That I love oat milk, and oats are like really, really good for calming the skin. So that's one of my favorites. But you can use any milk. Again, milk is cleansing, it's gentle, it's full of like so many good minerals. I mean, vitamins. And again, this is something that we want to think about. Like when you eat, you are getting all these vitamins and minerals from the food that you eat. So again, when you're like putting it on topically, your skin is absorbing that. It's eating the stuff you put on your skin. So think of it like food, and you don't want to be putting like, what is this? Ugh, there's some really harsh thing out there right now that everyone's talking about, spraying on themselves. I mean, there's always this new thing and then this new thing and then this new thing. And it's like, no, this is like, get off that train. It's crazy. They just keep like telling us to put this ridiculous stuff on our face, and it doesn't work. What it does is destroy what we are trying to heal. And our bodies are wonderful at healing. That's what we do. We are born and we start healing instantly. We are magical at this. So giving your body support so it can heal itself, that's like the best thing. And that's how I look at skincare for sure.
So this one is Lavender Hydrosol
Yes,
facial
beautiful.
toner, and it's so great at night. I love lavender at nighttime.
Oh, that'll get you night. Yeah, that's perfect. And do you put it on your son? I bet he would love that at night too. Like, oh,
Yes, I put
lavender.
it on him, and we'll put lavender in our oil and do foot massage at night.
Oh, that's lovely.
And it's very grounding,
Yes,
like
the
get
foot
into the
massage.
body.
Yep, totally. Well, we got to do like a foot bath and foot massage episode. We got to do that. Just because I want to do that. Awesome. So the other thing I was going to talk a little bit about was in your mists, we can use minerals. Okay, so you can use just any like plain water. Well, spring water is the best, or your tea with your lovely herbs. I like to use fennel. I like to use rose, anything with like calendula, rose, lavender. These things are so incredible for the skin. But another thing you can do is you can add, so have you guys heard of colloidal silver? Yes. Okay. Yeah. No. Yes. Incredible detoxifier. It's magical. But it's very in all the books that I read that are about Ayurvedic skincare, they always have gems, and they always have these like copper or silver or gold. And these things are like, I never see this out there on the market, like with any of these other products. Nobody's doing that. It is so incredibly powerful. I've been putting just 1 drop of colloidal silver in my rose hydrosol, and it's been incredible. tell. I don't know. You just like feel your skin absorbing this magic and you're like, oh yeah. And your skin is so supple after. It's incredible. So this is another thing that you can just add. I mean, you can go as simple or you can go as like extravagant as you want. It's up to you. It's what your intuition is calling. Sometimes I just want to use water, you know? Sometimes I'm in that mode. And then sometimes I'm like making these crazy teas and I'm putting every single herb in there and I'm spraying it on my face all day long. So again, like be very intuitive with this practice, but it's very an important step in our skincare. It really is. And I'm gonna mist a little bit real quick.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. And I do notice that when it's hotter out, or since I've moved to a drier climate, I'm misting more,
Yes.
right? So
Yes,
I
sir.
think yeah, my skin's like, ooh, I want some moisture.
Mhm.
So, and this one is empty now that I used to use. Oh, you can't see it because of the screen, but this one just had the rose water, blue lotus essential oil,
Mm.
amber essential oil, and clear quartz crystal in it. It said,
Yep.
shake gently and mist on face
Yes.
and enjoy.
I love it. And you did, right? That crystal, there's something about the crystals. I was at a market this weekend and I was just shaking my bottles like to get people's attention to come over. And then I just like missed them. I'm like, yeah, ding, ding, ding. I love it. There's so much magic to sound. And I mean, as they sit there, I infuse a lot of my like flower waters and things. I use these very gentle flowers and I put them in a bowl of water in the summertime and I let them sit under the hot sun. And the sun infuses the flowers into the water, right? So it's a very gentle infusion. It's very minimal, but there's a lot of power to the minimal. And yeah, I always put a crystal in there. And again, it's doing the same thing. So all these crystals have different vibrations. They have different like things in there. So like fluorite, if you're having headaches, fluorite is a miracle. It's crazy. Like these crystals, they have the answers. So I love diving into like the whole crystal thing. I'm not going to get too crazy, but rose quartz is one that I recommend for everybody. And green aventurine is a really magical stone as far as healing the skin or any skin ailment, especially things that are like cause redness. So like itchy or inflammation, you really want to go with that green aventurine. If you kind of have more normal skin, I would go with the rose quartz. And yeah, but there's so many crystals out there that you can choose from that do different things. So yeah, keep your
I
eyes
love
open.
that. Yeah. And it's like what part of the practice can will make you do it? Like what's going to draw to you? So if you like crystals, then you definitely want to add that. Or if it's the scent that you like what's going to make you actually do it? Right?
Yes.
I think that that's really important. And so like for me, I love crystals. So it's like playing. It's like
Yeah.
how can you play and take care of yourself so that it's fun?
Totally. Totally. That's so
Uh,
powerful. That's what totally got me like really into it was the crystals and the mixing and it all started with that. But
the
yeah, I've taken
witchiness.
yeah, totally. The witchiness. I can't wait to have a little witchy call too. Just like dive right into crystals and things. That's wonderful that you're very into that. I'm coming to your full moon call and I'm super excited about that.
Oh
Gonna
man, it's gonna be a really powerful full moon. That's why I'm having it right before, because during the full moon, I might be like out of the office.
yeah, totally.
Well, thank you so much for sharing about mists
Of
with
course.
me and everyone watching this later.
Beautiful.
And I love being with you in these because I always feel like more permission to play, more permission to love myself. And it's just really like it's intoxicating. I get off these calls. Like I was telling my partner, I'm like, I have a call with Maggie. He's like, "Ooh, I love those." I was like, "Me too."
Yes. I am so happy because that is like it's what changed my life and it's what I'm trying to like share with everyone. I mean, we're allowed to be kids, we're allowed to be playful, we're allowed to be curious and, just like play. And we deserve all the love, and giving it to ourselves is so powerful. So that makes me so happy to hear.
I'm
Yeah.
glad. Well, thank you. And
Thank
everyone, we'll be back in January.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be very exciting. We're going to play with food and clay. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Awesome.